Hi everybody, Wendy here. Okay, so I just wanted to come back to you to do just a little review on my how fibro affects my life. First of all, I wanted to start by saying I'm absolutely prime example, an absolutely overwhelming thank you to everybody who left comments on this video. I never in a million years expected to get so many positive and amazing comments that humbled me so much. I could read out all the names of the ladies that have left comments that have, you know, sort of touched me. Some have emailed me privately just to say, but there are just so many saying thank you to me and calling me brave. But believe me, it was by no means brave. It was wasn't a conscious thinking in my head to say, oh yeah, I must do a video. It was just a, you know, I sort of was talking to another lady, Jen Murdoch, who sort of contacted me a while ago, and we've become really good, you know, really good friends. And she's also got fibro, and just sort of like how isolated you can feel when you've got an invisible illness. And I'm not talking just about fibro, I'm talking about mental illness, arthritis, osteoarthritis, anything that makes you feel ill but there are no outwardly physical signs, which would be an invisible illness. And the negativity that can bring, and also the frustration of having to deal with the pain and the fatigue and the validation of trying to get people to understand, actually, I am really ill, it's incurable, it is progressive, although some doctors say it's not, but it is progressive. Mine's been progressive. The fact that it's so debilitating, and the fatigue is so debilitating, it's isolating. Do you know what I mean? There's not enough doctors know enough information about it. Some are good, and some people are really lucky to find a doctor that, you know, is sympathetic and will do their best for you. There are some doctors who just don't know enough, so they just, you know, don't want to know. So yeah, I just wanted to say an overwhelming thank you to all these women that reached out to me through the comments and through emails to say thank you for me for doing the video. I didn't do it for any thanks at all. I didn't do it for any pity party. I didn't do it for any other reason other than the fact I am a person suffering from an invisible illness daily, hourly, half hourly, and trying to deal with that. Now, looking at me, I've got my Wendy wig on. Now, I will say to you, one of the reasons why I do wear wigs is I find it really difficult to wash my hair, because I haven't got a walk-in shower. I have a shower where I have to step over my bath to get into it. I do have a bath rail, and it's really difficult. I can't lean over the bath to wash my hair. And if you folks that suffer from fibro, we suffer a lot with balance problems. So I can be walking along, and I can sort of find myself going, you know, so it is stepping over it and trying to get into a bath. My balance gets really out of whack when I'm trying to do that. Yeah, so I find it really difficult. So one of the reasons why I do wear my gorgeous Wendy wig is because my hair needs washing and I can't do it. I try and go to a local salon and get them to do it for me. Or I sort of try and find a way of doing it. So yeah, it's really difficult. So that's one of the reasons why I love my Wendy wigs, because it just means that, you know, I can look sort of like halfway decent-ish with a wig on, but underneath, obviously, my hair. Plus it needs colouring again, which is so annoying. So, and I need to decide whether I want to, you know, get another, let the colour grow out, or to, you know, just have it coloured again, because it's like every 2 weeks and it's a pain in the butt. Anyway, so back to the fibro. So yes, saying thank you to everybody who left absolutely gorgeous comments. There wasn't really that many questions about fibro. One lady did ask me a question about how to cope with the pain, and the only it's really difficult to give somebody else advice about how to cope with their pain when I suffer from pain, and there are times when I don't cope with it. The only thing I can say, and I don't practice what I preach, I will hold my hands up and say, but if you can, is when you have a good day, don't take that good day as your get up and go day. I'm not saying don't do anything. What I'm saying to you is treat it like little, they call it pacing even on a bad day, because I tend to go from like hour to, I take as each, you know, I don't go, oh, I'm having a good day, I'm going, oh, I'm having a good hour. That hour could then change. Because the fatigue can hit me like that. But pacing is a really big thing. And if you go along to a pain clinic, they'll explain to you about pacing. Ooh, something's making a funny noise over there. Don't know what it is, but anyway, yeah, about pacing. But just because you say you're having a good day and what I would call a normal day, which is probably not normal for most people, but for us it's semi-normal. Don't go hell for leather and decide, oh, because your kitchen's a mess, you're going to clean the whole kitchen, because believe me, you will pay for it, and you will pay for it tenfold. So, you know, if you're having a good day, take that good day with the, you know, the joy that it gives you for that day, and don't go mad. You know, if it means that you can get out and, you know, visit somebody, or you can go and have lunch with somebody, do that. I know, you know, that not everyone's got supportive partners or family or children or whatever, and I understand that, but don't go and clean the whole kitchen or hoover the whole house, or, you know, just overwork yourself. It is so important, because believe me, you will pay for it. And the second thing, the only other advice I can really give you, and I've totally forgotten it, it's gone out of my head, and it will come back. I've just remembered. See? I've just thought of another thing. Yeah, the second thing I want to tell you is learn to say no. That was the biggest thing that I learned to do, was being the sort of person I am. I'm a or I like to think I will do anything for anybody, and I'm a helpful person, or I used to be. So if anyone asked me for help, I would go and do it. When you've got fibro, don't feel guilty about saying no to either family, friends. You know, be honest and say, no, I'm sorry, I just can't do that today. Or you know, or if they say to you, or what are you doing tomorrow, can you do this for me? You need to be honest with them and say to them, I would love to do it for you. I'm not saying at this particular moment in time no, but I can't promise that when tomorrow comes I can, or I'm going to want to do it. Not because you don't care or anything like that, because that's how fibro gets us. Okay, that's how fibro gets us. So don't be so hard on yourself when you have to say no. That was the biggest thing I learned, was learning to say no. And believe me, it was hard to family, and they will learn. They do learn. They might not like it, but they will learn. I think sometimes there's more, and don't mean this to be prejudicial against men, but I feel as mums, and there is a higher percentage of females with fibro than there are men, although there are men with fibro, but as mums, we seem to be the go person that people, like, you know, your kids or tend to be the approachable one. Well, it is in my house anyway, that, you know, if anything the kids want, or anybody wants anything done, even if they want, you know, your partner to do, it's me they come to and say, oh, can you ask Dad if he'll blah blah blah, you know. Not for any other reason other than, you know, they just, I was always the sorter out. Even as a kid, I was always the one that, you know, if anything needed sorted out, I was the one that did it. I was the one that, I had 2 brothers, I was the one that, you know, did the dishes, that dried the dishes. My mum wasn't very well, that did the cooking, do you know what I mean? I was the one that, the doer, and that sort of carried on all the way through. Sort of like, you know, even I was the one that, you know, sort of sorted the bills out, paid the bills. If any doctor's appointment was needed, I was the one that made the appointments. If any, you know, anything's needed organised with the kids, I was the one that did it. And not for any other reason was other than it was the role that I fell into, or because of the personality I had. So I had to learn to say no, and I did. And don't ever feel guilty for saying no. You know, there are times, I'm not saying you won't ever, that I do, not saying feel pressured, but I do feel bad that I have to say no. But, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say yes to something when I know that I'm going to pay for it big time the next day. Why would I put myself through that? There are times when, you know, like my kids' shows at school, I will go to them. I'm not saying I'm going to miss that sort of thing. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about, you know, if somebody wants a lift, or, you know, they need to get somebody else maybe to do those sort of things for you, or to, you know, get them to sort of stand on their own 2 feet a little bit more. I know sometimes I think, you know, we sort of do too much. Not too much for our kids, but I think, you know, because we tend to be the one that organises things, you know, we sort of, that role sort of tends to carry on even sort of now. You know, my 19-year-old could say to me, "Oh, can you make me a doctor's appointment?" And I won't think nothing. Yeah, okay. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, he's 19. Go make an appointment. You know, I hand him the phone. So yeah. So, and the third thing that I, because of fibro brain, what I tend to do is I've got a notepad. Okay, and if there's anything that someone's telling me that I think I need to remember, I need to remember that is important. And I'm not saying I would forget it, but there are occasions when you can, or you'll, you know, I write a lot of stuff down in this pad. It's just, you know, it's just a pad, and I write things down. Even stuff I watch on the internet, like if I don't see some crafty thing I like or something, I write it down in this pad. And the same for you know, for any appointments, I write it down, because that way I know that, because I did find that I got 5 boys, but a couple of them were going, "Oh, I did tell you that, Mum, but oh, you won't remember because, you know, you've got fibro." Yeah, okay. So if it's not written in my book, then I'm sorry you didn't tell me, unless I forget to write it in my book. But yeah, so that's the other thing that I would say, is to use a pad or something to write down anything that, you know, like if, I don't know, your other half says to you, "Oh, can you do this for me today?" And if it's not anything that you can't do, you know, just sort of write it down, because the amount of times someone said to me, "Oh, can you post this, you know, put this in an envelope for me?" Apart from turning around and say to them, "Do it your bloody self." You know, if I'm feeling okay to do it, then fine, you know, do it. I'll need to write it down. But yeah, tell them to do it themselves. But yeah, so that's the other, you know, the 3 things is the pacing, the, do you know what, I've even forgotten what it was I've told you. Yeah, the pacing, learning to say no, and writing things down. I would never ever sit here and say what works for me would work for you. I had somebody leave a message, which was only, I would say, not so much of a negative comment, but I did find it really surprising that somebody with fibro left this comment for me, basically telling me that I need to keep moving. I'll read the comments. Basically, it says that they had been diagnosed with fibro and that they can feel my pain. You just have to keep moving and going, keep moving and going, and try to overcome these pains, and try, in capital letters, not to take as much medication. Healthy dieting, sport should be your main concentration. I mean, I almost spat my coffee out when I read that bit, because there is no way on this planet Earth, moon, universe, or whatever solar system you want to enter, or can I do any sport. Apart from the fact I've had both my kneecaps removed, I've got osteoarthritis in my shoulders and my hips, as well as my hands. There is just no, I can't hold anything or pick anything up. So there's no way I can do sports. They said that should be my main concentration and it should become my major lifestyle. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but although I don't want fibro to overtake my life, it has. It is my lifestyle. It is part of me. It is incurable as it stands at the moment. It is progressive. I mean, it also went on to say it should become your major lifestyle and you and your activities come first, the rest is later. Depression can be handled. You can handle those. I found that quite an insulting comment, because depression and mental illness is also a invisible illness, and it's not something that you just handle. You know, if that was the case, and this, you know, this advice that I was being given, if that was how easy it was, God, don't you think I would have done all this, you know, years ago when I first got my diagnosis? Do you really think that I want to be like this every single day, that, you know, that I want to be on the medication? It also said sleeping habits must be handled. Keeping yourself warm can be handled as well if you keep as well. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going through menopause as well, and also one of the also symptoms of fibro is having difficulty maintaining body heat, or not body heat, but maintaining a stable, like, you know, 1 minute you're cold and 1 minute you're cold, and when you're going through the menopause as well, you've got no chance. I've got my fan on here, sorry if you could hear it, because you know, it's just and it just went on to say if you give up, illness will swallow you and drown you in medications. And then it went on to say that she's taking gabapentin at night, which gives her somewhat pain-free night's sleep, 5 hours, and it's great. Well, sorry, but bully for you. You know, I did leave a comment and say to maybe she needs to get a diagnosis checked, because I don't think that anybody with fibro, you know, can be sorted by these things that she was telling me. I mean, it went on to say she's walking and going Pilates and looking forward to doing something else, trying to work on my diet, look into the bulletproof diet, being seen by a massage therapist helps a lot if you can. I'm sorry, but there's no way on this earth, because anybody with fibro can go to a massage therapist. I can't stand my back to be, you know, have anyone do that to my back, the tops of my arms or anything like that. It's just like, it's like someone running a, you know, rubbing brush up my back. It just wouldn't happen. So no, that's not going to happen. I mean, it went on to say that she's seen a neurological massage therapist, and it helps her a lot, and they give her exercises that she has to do in capital letters. There was a lot of sort of like, you know, capital letters and all this lot in there. Well, you know, I mean, I don't know what this lady's got, and I'm not down in, you know, or trying not to be supportive to whatever illnesses that she's got, whatever she has got. If she's found some sort of relief in what it is she's doing, then all power to you. But, you know, to come on to somebody who's got fibro's channel and say you're a fibro sufferer and say those sort of things, I found, well, I was flabbergasted, to be honest. But anyway, I'm not going to mention any names. You know, I mean, I just left a message saying I was just really surprised that she would leave that sort of comment on, you know, to a fellow fibro sufferer, saying that all these things were some sort of like miracle cure. I'm sure, you know, if that was the case, there wouldn't be as many, you know, people suffering from fibro. And because we don't do those things, does that mean we're all lazy, or we're all, you know, I mean, like I said, it's not just fibro I've got. I've had both my kneecaps removed. I've got osteoarthritis, which is really painful. It might be sort of like a wear and tear thing, but it is actually very, very painful. It is. I've got spurs growing off my of bone, because what osteo is, it's where your bones are rubbing as well. So you end up with spurs where the bones are trying to heal, and they're growing more bone where it's being damaged by the osteoarthritis. So that's why you get bone spurs. So I have them in my hips, in between, on my shoulder. I can't lift this. That's as far as I can lift my arm up that way. I can probably lift it up a bit further that way. Oh. And the amount of times that I've caught it, and you know, and believe me, the pain just goes through me. That's another reason why I can't shave under my arms, and that's a nightmare. So yes, anyway, so I just wanted to come along and just do an update on this video. I went to the doctors last week, and I did speak to her about my concern over the sort of agoraphobia side, where I'm sort of like, I don't want to go out at all, and I do get a bit panicky if I have to go out, and my concern over that. So I am aware that it's happening, and it is something I want to deal with. But I don't know how to, that's the thing. So anyway, she made me laugh. She wants me to go and see a counsellor, which means I have to go out. Okay, but you know, I'll go. I will make an effort and push myself, which is what I have to do, and I will go. And if it helps, then brilliant. I don't know. She didn't do a medication review, which I wanted her to do, and which is what I think she was supposed to do. But she's going to see how the counselling goes and review that again in 2 months. She also gave me a place to contact, which does a lot of, it's like a support place, which does, it's not counselling, but they're like classes on how to cope with fibromyalgia, how to cope with, and I did write down what it's called, and I can't find a piece of paper. I don't know what I've done with it. Anyway, they do how to cope with fibromyalgia, how to cope with anxiety and stress, how to cope with pain management, that sort of thing, you know. And you contact, and it's free in the UK. You just contact them, and they make an appointment, and you know, sort of go along, which is really cool. So I will see how that goes. I'm hoping that it'll help. I'm not quite convinced, but yeah, I am hoping. So anyway, yeah, so as it stands at the moment, that's where I am. Oh, my results came back from my thyroid, and that was, I've had one which was abnormal, and this one was satisfactory. I'm not quite sure what satisfactory means. Satisfactory on what scale? Based on a normal person? Is that normal for me? I don't know. So maybe they'll do another one. I don't know. Yeah. So so that came back, as far as I'm aware, okay. So yeah. So that's me for the moment. I might do a little spot at the end of this video, so just watch, just to sort of have a chat with my son, if he's willing, just to see how fibro affects him being part of the family. I don't want to do anything that's going to upset him, so if he does get upset, then I will just leave it, but I just wanted to sort of like, you know, sort of get a feeling of how it can affect other family members. Okay, so thanks anyway for watching, and I'll be back in 2 minutes and see what my son says. Hi everybody, I'm back, and here's Toby. He's my gorgeous son.
Hiya.
Hiya. And he says, hey, hi. Okay, so I've just been explaining to Toby that about me doing this fibro video and the feedback that people have given me. And I just wanted to ask Toby a few questions about, you know, how it affects him as a family, in our family, you know, how it affects him sometimes having a parent that has fibro, yeah? And I have said to him, if he feels like he's getting upset, he can give me nudge, yeah, because I don't want to upset him, but I just wants to sort of like, just sort of like show that, that families that have got kids, do,
like this
it does affect the kids as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love questions apart from like math and history questions.
So there you go, we should be fine. Okay, so, alright then, so what would you say the biggest thing that you dislike about having a parent who's got fibro or
like with
yeah, I don't like being touched on my arms and my back.
Like when you like sometimes when I go to give you a hug when you're like bare skin on your shoulders, it sort of affects me because it's sort of hard to get into a position to like hug you in the right place where you don't have fibro.
Does it make you feel sometimes that I'm rejecting you if do you understand the fact that it's because I've got fibro and not because I don't want to give you a hug, because I actually love giving you hugs. Don't you? I love giving you hugs because he's so sweet. He's my huggable baby. Yeah. And what about the fact that sometimes quite a lot, that I stay in bed a lot? Yeah. How do you feel about that?
What, that you stay in bed a lot?
Yeah.
Well, it affects me because sometimes like if I want to like play a ball game with you, so say for 21, like we played that a lot with her, but we stopped playing it because like it was like sort of affecting you when we played it. Yeah, so
sometimes say like I get tired and I can't play a game with you either. 21 is a card. What I try and do is find games that me and Toby can do that are not strenuous.
So not them games that you have to do the fans with, because I can't do them games. Like I like literally I don't know how to do the fans.
Yeah, 21 is pontoon. So we play card games, don't we? Or games that two player can play.
We play like I think we played Yes or No a while ago.
That's right. Yeah. So we have to play, but it's not. I can't always do that because sometimes I'm either in pain or I've got a headache
or you're tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. I get tired a lot, don't I? Yeah.
And normally you don't really go out a lot.
I don't go out at all.
You only get out of bed time, go to the toilet, feed Amber, let Amber out, get me dressed for school, and getting food. I think there's like 50,000 different ones there.
Yeah. So that's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those are the only things that you get out of bed for.
I do get out of bed for crafting and making videos.
And like picking people up if they really need it.
Yeah, but I try not to though, don't I? Because I don't like going and driving and picking people up. So, yeah. So it's quite isolating for you, isn't it?
Does that mean
isolating
like
means, yeah.
Okay.
And Toby goes to young carers, don't you? For other children that look after parents who are having a disability, don't you? And he goes along every other week, and they do trips as well. Yeah. And what do they do there then? Can you remember?
Young carers is sort of like a time off away from like your parents, and the parents time off away from like you, from like all trouble. See, I have an older brother who goes to young carers, but it's like it's like a different one to what I go to. I think he used to go to the one that I went to.
Yeah, but he went, because he got older, he went to the bigger one.
Yeah, he went to the
It's just so you can, and also so you can meet other kids
and interact with them.
Yeah, that are in the same boat as you, so they understand. Because a lot of kids at school don't understand, do they? That you have to look after sometimes a parent, don't you?
Yeah, like. Sometimes I just like at young carers, like it's more fun to just like interact and just like jump into the game. It's better to just jump in and just say, hey, I'm late, and just sing because because if you ask them, it'll probably take longer, and then it will like get the other person tagged or something. So yeah, it's just sometimes better to just like jump straight in.
Do you think you have a lot of responsibility for someone of your age? Someone? Yeah. What sort of things do you think you have responsibility for? What do you have to do sometimes? If I'm really poorly. I
have to get out your tablets. I have to let Amber out.
Mhm.
Because you like can't get out of bed
Mhm.
because of your kneecaps. Yeah.
I can't walk sometimes. You just have to do a lot of things. Like sometimes you make me a cup of coffee. Won't you?
Yeah, coffee. See, that's like one of the things I like doing is making coffee and tea.
Yeah. And it'll like he's hoovered the stairs for me as well. Haven't
Yeah,
you?
I like hoovering the stairs, but sometimes it can get a bit tiring.
Yeah, because
it's like sometimes it's just hard to lift up the hoover.
Whip that.
Just get away, but it's like faster.
Get cleaning those stairs. No. So you like being helpful though, don't you? Yeah.
Actually, we're lucky that we don't have one of them little dusters instead of a vacuum. You know them dusters that maids used to have?
Oh right, yeah.
Like dusting
the cobwebs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just keep our cobwebs here. We don't dust them away.
Leave them for the other people to do.
Yeah. So what would you prefer? How would you prefer things to be then?
What do you mean by that?
What would you like? Sometimes you say to me, "Oh, you know, I wish you weren't poorly," or sometimes. Is there times when you? Think,
yeah, like sometimes I wish that that you still had your kneecaps, so like you could just, like go out a lot more. Do like you could. I mean, because sometimes you can't really hang out with your friends at all. You don't really go outside to hang out with. You have to like FaceTime them or Skype them.
Yeah.
To like speak to them and all. And sometimes, when I'm in the room, I can talk to them as well. It's like, because like one of your friends, was it Fiona? Yeah. Because I was talking to her, and see, it's like cool just to interact with your friends as well as you interact with mine. Yeah. So it's sort of like a bit of a mix-up, like it's like changing things around a bit.
So have you got any questions that you want to ask me that you maybe not understand about fibro or anything about being poorly, mum being poorly?
Yeah, like what do like some of the tablets do? Like I know like one sleeps and the one's like makes you tired, and like one's like for the like painkillers. But I don't know what all the rest are.
I take one called gabapentin, which is for the fibromyalgia, which is supposed to help with
it, like
with the pain in the and also I take naproxen, and
what does naproxen?
that naproxen supposed to help with that's a pain as well, but it's more for my my knees and my knees. Yeah, I also take omeprazole, which is I have to take alongside the naproxen, because naproxen's quite a strong drug and it can give you tummy ulcers, so which can cause other problems. So I have to take omeprazole to stop that from happening.
Okay. Wait, was that all of them?
No.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Then there's citalopram, which is an antidepressant, which they give to people sometimes who's got fibro, because it has properties in it that helps with also pain, and also a lot of people who have this sort of condition can be depressed, which makes them very sad. So, and then I have my patches, which are morphine patches.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, they're for pain. Yeah. They're for pain.
Like, what's the difference between, like, you know how you're, like a 25 patch or something, and then another patch?
So I take two patches. I have a 12 microgram and a 25 microgram.
Yeah, what's the difference between them?
It's just the amount of
doses you want to take.
The medication that's in it, yeah. That's all it is. It's just the amount of...
not in camera.
You're getting camera. I'm getting camera. So photogenic. Oh, I poked you in the eye.
No.
So, yeah.
You didn't.
So is that anything else you want to ask me? Anything you want to say to the folks out there? Anything you want to say to the kids out there that maybe don't understand their mum being poorly, that they can do to help their mum?
Like, for those of you out there who have your mums poorly, like
or dads,
my lovely mum or dad, like your lovely mum and dad. sometimes for other people, like some people just might think because they're being told to do something to like get something for them because they're being lazy. It's not because of that. It's because they're ill. You have to understand that your mum or dad is ill, so they can't get up to do it. So, like, if those of you out there who are doing like stuff for your parents, don't get annoyed because you're being told to do something every time. Just do it, like, because your mum and dad's ill. Just do it for them.
Yeah, just help them out.
Like, just help them out a bit.
Because one day you might be old and ill. Mind you, I'm not old, am I?
No.
No.
I looked at you confused and was like, Toby's still.
Yes, don't forget I'm holding you while you're saying that.
Yeah, I was still processing the things that you said.
So your advice is to try and be more helpful.
Yeah, just like.
And don't grump once you're asked to be asked to do something. Yeah.
I can learn a lesson from that myself.
See? Now remember, the next time I ask you to do something, what you're not going to do? Grump. Actually, Toby's really good. It's really good. It's when he's asked to come off, say he's on his iPad or something and it's bedtime, and then he might have a little grump then, eh? Eh?
No.
Might on his shoulder.
It's alright.
See? So yeah. So thank you. Oh, that's the telly started. So let me just stop that because
I'll do it.
that's ow, 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 ow.
That's another thing. You have to do something the parents do instead.
Yeah, so thank you very much for answering and just giving your point of view, Toby.
Thank you.
Alright, it's been really helpful. And I'm sure you know, the folks out there that you know, who've got a parent who's got what we call an invisible illness, that it's helpful. Okay? So yeah. So just to let people know that it's also hard for, you know, the kids as well. Yeah. But from a kid's point of view. Alright? So thanks for watching and we'll see you again soon. Say bye.
Bye. Make sure to like and subscribe. And leave a comment.
Okay. Bye.